how do you find a mentor, and how do you conduct yourself around them once you sign up with a good mentor?
I'll start it off. I think first it's important to know where you are in your life, right? If you have money, then you can create your time. If you don't have time, then you can pay with money. And what I mean by that is understand what your budget is actually, and understanding where you are in your business journey, right? Like if you don't have the money to attend a $5,000 event, like, I did, or 25,000, 30,000 into mentorship like you did, there'll be a time for that, right? But initially my mentorship was straight YouTube. Like it was YouTube University, and there is an overwhelm that may come from that, right? So like I would advise for you to stick to like 2 or 3 channels max, maybe 2 max, because you want to learn their specific strategies from that one person. Because if you start jumping video by video, everybody runs it different, so it's gonna be hard to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So if you don't have money, YouTube's a great start. If you do have money, I won't specifically say any mentorship programs at the moment, but I'll give you some framework that'll help you. And one is, does the person I'm aspiring to get coaching from or be like or emulate, what are their values, right? Is it flashiness, chains and cars? Like, and I'm saying that because I did that. But I'm also given the perspective of, aside from all that, like, what are their values, right? Because although I had chains, watches, cars, and all that fun stuff, the message we were preaching was quite different from that, right? So make sure that the message that they're giving is what you desire in your own life, right? So really the values that they have, do you align with those? That's a great way to start that. And then any mentor or person you learn from, they're not going to have it all figured out, right? And there's the saying on don't, meet your heroes because they'll disappoint you. And that's actually true. But at the same time, you can learn from not only what they provide, but also their mistakes and lessons, depending on how transparent they are. So make sure that you learn with an open mind, but not everything somebody says is concrete, right? Like, and it doesn't matter who. Like, I've paid mentors 6 figures for a year on coaching, and there's some things that I align with extremely, and there's some things like, okay, hey, that's, it's not my personality, too bold for me, too harsh for me. Like, I'm not that cutthroat. Like,
yeah,
so you'll have those realizations. But that's some good advice to, do the values align with who I'm trying to learn from? And 2, just as a reminder, keep an open mind, be curious, but not everything somebody says is concrete.
Yeah. I would say that, if it's not broken, don't fix it. The way I got mentorship, I would say follow the same thing that I did. So what I did was I was watching you on YouTube.
Yep.
And so that's who I was initially learning from. And I felt like I could relate. He was young, he started young, so it made sense to see if there was anything further, any type of mentorship I could learn from. Then I realized that it wasn't just Alex, it was Alex, Sal, and Carlos. So I was able to get 3 mentors. I was able to get 3 mentors. You guys are very different, each of you. So I was able to learn from 3 different, very successful businessmen, and that's simply what I did. It's identified who I could relate to, that I was already learning from, that I was feeling like I got the best knowledge from, like they were explaining it to me in a way that I could understand, right? If somebody's explaining stuff to you on YouTube and you feel like you're left constantly confused on where to go next, they're probably not the mentor to sign up with, because their communication, the way they communicate isn't the best for your learning style. So you're going to want to make sure that when you are watching content, pick the person you're retaining the most information from, and that's leaving you with the least questions, right? That's leaving you feeling like you have everything answered. And your content made me feel like that. And then I was able to sign up with 3 people. Sounded like a great deal to me. And so I signed up, and it changed the game for me. I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have made this much money in real estate if it wasn't for it. So forever grateful.
And when you're starting, right, you're seeking for a mentor, it's important to know what level you're at as far as your knowledge base, right? And what I mean by that, so if it's real estate, we'll keep it real estate specific. Initially, to get to the final result and the success, there's 4 steps, right? Number 1, you have to begin to understand the business. Like, okay, what's wholesaling? What is cold calling? What is skip tracing? What is PPC? What is investor lift? What is cash buyers? What, like
The basics.
The basics of it. Understand, right? And to understand, I wouldn't necessarily advise anyone to get a mentor for that, because that's very basic fundamentals of the business, which is all on YouTube.
I would say if you hire a mentor without knowing those basics, you're wasting your money, because
you're not speaking the same language.
yeah. And they're gonna have to just basically warm you up on all the stuff you could have just got your foundation on before jumping
and people
in.
try skipping that step. Like it's imperative that you learn those basics, because one, no mentor wants to hop on a call and teach you what a cash buyer is, right? You should be doing that due diligence and that research yourself. So whether it's buying a $200-300 course, I know you have a course, and I'd recommend his because I know that he understands the business, right? And I'm gonna circle all this to make sense, right? So first, it's understand the business, right? So the very basics, and you can do that all through YouTube, books, podcasts, especially podcasts. Understand the basics. And it's okay if you're watching a video and you just don't understand because it's too complex. Again, your intention is to understand the business. That's level one. And then two, through understanding and really involving yourself and being consistent in the learning process, you're going to begin to comprehend the business. And comprehension is you being in a conversation at an event and being able to talk that subject.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, we're talking about investor lift. Like, I understand what it is, but do you comprehend it? Oh yeah, I've used it. I signed up. I did a trial. I did a free call. Blah 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 blah. I know what it is. I know what it does. I can comprehend it. So you can be in conversation, right? And through understanding and comprehending, with plus time and consistency, you're going to have the knowledge. And once you have the knowledge, you have the ability to act. And then how do you get the knowledge? By doing, right?
Yeah.
So as you understand and comprehend the entire business and what you're striving for, through that consistency, you'll begin to get the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And there's one more. There's one final step, and the final step is wisdom, right? And when you're looking for a mentor, make sure that they have the wisdom. And how do you know somebody has the wisdom? By knowing all the first three, right? Okay, does this mentor comprehend? Do they understand? And do they have the knowledge? And wisdom is through time and experience, right? So, and that's not to say, and I wouldn't look so much at the time in business, because I was coaching people when I was like 20 years old. I think you as well, right?
Yeah.
And so did we have 10 years of experience? No, but we can teach people a very specific thing that we have the knowledge and the wisdom and the failures and the wins to do so. So can we teach you how to do a 100-unit development? Probably not. Like, no, like I don't have the wisdom. I'm barely in comprehend and understanding of it, right? I don't have the knowledge yet. I just have a basic understanding. So, but specific with wholesaling, we have the knowledge and the wisdom. So we are able to help the next person because we do have that. And there's a lot of people that will make the mistake of hiring a mentor that only understand and comprehend the business.
Yeah. You need that experience.
Yeah, you need that experience.
Make sure they've been in the business for a couple years, have done over 100 deals. Once you've done over 100 real estate transactions, you've seen basically most of the crazy stuff that can happen.
Absolutely.
So you're going to have that wisdom, and then, make sure you have that foundation, because if you pay money for like a 6-month mentorship and you have to learn the basics, you're going to waste your first 2 months, half the mentorship on getting up to speed, when you should jump into that mentorship and start building right away. That's exactly what I did. I'd already pretty much got my first deal, got in this mentorship. Now I knew the foundation of everything. I had done one transaction. I had a full understanding of the business because I'd actually went from contract to close on one deal. Now I jump into mentorship, time to build. Let's build a real business.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very important to know, like, no mentor is going to teach you everything. So like whatever specialized skill set or process they have, like that's what you're really paying for, right?
Yep.
I couldn't teach you how to do a 100-unit development. I'm paying somebody to teach me right now. I couldn't teach you that, but in 5-10 years I probably could, because I will have that knowledge and experience.
Yeah, and if a mentor's telling you that they're going to be teaching you all these different things, they're probably not a good mentor. You want a mentor that's focused on one topic, one sector. And like for me, I've hired tons of different mentors for all the different things that I'm doing. Like,
yeah, like you hired a PPC expert, right?
Yeah.
but you don't expect them to teach you how to disposition deals.
No.
It's like,
Yeah.
so there has to be an alignment.
And I don't
of where you're
expect them to teach me other marketing channels.
Yeah, exactly.
They're there for that one marketing channel. I've hired a mentor for how to grow my YouTube channel and how the YouTube algorithm works. I don't expect them to teach me about Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
it's that you don't want somebody that's saying, we're going to teach you everything about this. That's never going to work. So
what are some things to look out for those starting, right? I think one, it's like your first mentor, in my opinion, after you understand the wholesaling process and say you've done a deal or 2, 5 deals, I think the first thing that you should invest in is your sales skills. Like, you need a sales process, you need to refine your sales skills. And that's what we did early on. Back in the day, this guy, John Martinez, I don't know if you remember him.
I still have my team going through the jump. It's like stuff they give car salesmen, right?
Yeah, it's a little outdated, but we were like fresh back then with it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we invested, like, I sent 2 of my acquisition guys like to Missouri, somewhere in Missouri, small little town, Springfield, Missouri, I think. And it was like $6K investment, and they came back with the sales process, and we were able to really effectively close. So I think refining and investing in your sales skills, and then once you have that consistency in deals, going to a operational type mentor on how to scale your business, and that would be probably like the 2 steps that I would recommend.
Yeah, I agree. I think the most important things is going to be lead flow, so marketing, and then sales. Like, that's what you need to be worried about at first, and then from there, scale, right?
Yeah, and then later on, specialized knowledge, right? It's like bringing we just hired Sharper consultants to come into our business and scale that out. So we meet with them next week, and they're scaling business purpose only. We don't expect them to teach us marketing, right? So, but yeah, that'd
What's
be the
his
process.
name? Was Sharper?
Harper.
Yeah,
Harper.
A couple people have hired him.
Yeah,
lately,
we'll see. Yeah.
I've also, like, Brandon Simmons has came by my office to teach us creative finance.
Yeah.
So I didn't have Brandon come in to teach us how to scale our wholesaling business or
very specific,
how to acquire deals. No, it's how to convert the leads we already have into sub-2s creative finance. Very specific. So pinpoint what you're looking for and find that person. And then, I mean, vetting your mentor, make sure that they are the real deal. I mean, it could, like, simple things to look for, like, have they burned their reputation in the industry or not? Go look at who's following them back on Instagram. Like, if everybody's following them, that probably means they are good with everybody in the industry. They haven't burned any bridges.
Yeah, that's important.
You know, you could ask for HUDs. You could ask for closing statements, right?
Ask for HUDs. Ask for success. There's successful students. I think I've sent a few people over to you, like, hey, this guy's interested.
Thank you. Yeah. So make sure you're vetting them.
If they don't have success stories, then that's concerning.
Yep.
All right. I do want to add into that as well. I want to say that a big thing that I've noticed is preparation, just being prepared, because, like, for myself, I met my mentor by accident, Zach. Zach Heaps is my mentor, right?
Yep.
And we've been together, you know, shooting content and having fun. But the thing that's I'm really happy that I was prepared for was being prepared to also give value.
Serve, yeah.
Yeah, because if you're able to give value to your mentor, that's a big step up.
Absolutely.
Huge. So
100%. So you met Zach, you had a skill, videography, you're super good at making content.
It wasn't construction.
So
right? Yeah.
So exactly. You were able to bring something to the table. Guys, if you're just starting out, you're young, and you know, you're just going to school or you just got out of school, we need to start developing skills. You need to start developing yourself and start developing a skill that you have to offer. That's how you start building your value and having some value to bring to the table. That's extremely important, to be able to network and connect with other people. And, you know, you didn't pay Zach for mentorship. So if you want to find a mentor for free, bring value. Zach's also one of my mentors early on. I sold Zach Keeps my first deal. So what did I bring? A deal. I brought value to the table. And now me and Zach have been very good friends ever since. And I've learned countless things from him, you know?
Yeah, he saved me so much.